everyone, I welcome you for the today's class. Today we'll be looking at the second chapter of the third module, that is backup and archive. So we are going to study this backup, what is the purpose of the backup, what is archiving, and what are the different techniques they have been using so that the data is being retrieved. The first foremost definition of backup is nothing but you are keeping additional copy of the data so that this can be used in future. So in case any of the data is getting corrupted, then you can use that data. Now as the organizations are growing, right, the projects are coming up, the huge number of projects are coming, each and every organization the data is very much important. Now you can see that there is a online transactions going on, the banking transactions are been going on, so this all data every time this is been increasing. So for this purpose they need this data in future also, so that they can keep track of each and every person it can be there, or they can even check what is the sorry, what is the benefit the bank is been taking. And I think you might have been heard or you have seen in the newspaper that the company is in the profit, third quarter, second quarter, so this much is the net profit, and they have been saying that the various companies have been merging. So how do they do this all merging, it can be there, or the profit and all, they are going to check the data. Now everyday data is difficult, right? So for that purpose what they do is they are going to create the multiple copies of the data that is being generated every day and it is being stored. And what they do is all together they are going to combine them, and then they are going to do the analysis. Now when I am having a huge data, right, now I can't store it on only one single disk, so I need to transfer it to the secondary storage. So the transfer of the information from this primary storage to the secondary storage is called as archiving. So this archiving, why it is being needed is whenever you want to store the data for a longer period of the time. Right. So the next one is, when we are doing this backup, what is the purpose of this backup? So the first purpose is for the disaster recovery, the second one is for operational recovery, and the third one is archiving. In the disaster recovery, we are going to restore the data, that is the data that is being produced, so that the recovery point objective and recovery time objective requirements are being met. In the operational recovery, you are going to restore the data whenever there is a corruption of the data. For example is that you delete an email, right, but that email still do exist in the cloud from which you can restore that one, right? And in the archival what you are trying to do is you preserve whatever the transaction is been there, or the emails have been there, the records have been there, so that it is used for your regulatory compliance. Then is, when we are having so much of the data, then how is the backup being done, right? So that we are going to get the data from the point where we want it, like every day, because every day if you take, there are numerous transactions taking place from one mobile. If I say that, I can say that more than 20 GB of the data is being shared every time, right, every day. And this data, whatever I'm been saying, it can be either my calls, it can be the messages with the incoming calls, it can be there, or the missed calls I've been having, the chat messages is being sent, the emails that is being exchanged, I do any online transaction. So this data is in either structured and unstructured. So this has to be stored, and at what point it has to be stored, right, and how do I recover this data? So this is all is a granularity is being taken place. So in this one they are taking up the three types. One is the full backup, the second one is incremental backup, and the third one is a cumulative backup, so that the data is being restored each and every time. In this full backup, what they do is the complete data backup is being done from a certain period of time, right, and this copy of the data is stored on the larger volumes. the benefit is it is having a faster recovery, but what has been there, it is going to take the more time for the backup, right? So they are not going to implement the full backup, so they have been moved to the incremental backup. So what is this incremental backup is all about? So it is going to copy the data that has been only changed since the last full or the incremental backup. So it is not going to what do you say, restore all the data, or it is not going to back up all the data. It is only going to back up the files only that are being altered, right? So by this one, what happens is the data backup is very faster, but what it is going to take a longer time to restore that data. So in the cumulative backup, what you are going to do is you are going to backup only the data that has been changed. Okay, this cumulative is almost the same like incremental, but it is a bit slower when compared to the incremental, right? So we'll see here through this diagram. Now you can check in this diagram the full backup, as you can see that. So they have been put the time slot. So this is on Sunday. Whatever the data is being processed here, right, it is backup only on the Sunday. So in case in meantime, if any of the system is going to fail, then whole data is being corrupted. We are not able to get that data. In the incremental backup, you can check from the Sunday, weekend days, what they are going to do is they are going to backup. Now you can check that there is a changes in some file. Only that particular file will be totally put back into the storage array. Now the same way, even in the cumulative backup also, you can check that every day the data is being changed. Whatever the files are being done, that is only updated over here. Okay, so we'll see some more the restoring of the data. Now you can check in this diagram, the first one, where you can check the for Monday. If I take the files, the 1 2 3 files is been there, where you are doing a full backup, which is already been sent to this production data. On the Tuesday, there is a fourth file number 4 which is being changed, or there is some changes being made. Then you are applying the incremental, and that is also being put back into the production. On the Wednesday, the file number 3 is just updated. Only that particular information will be moved to the production data. And on Thursday, file number 5, the changes are being done, then it is being here. Now suppose from Monday to Thursday, whatever the changes are being done, it is being put on this production. Now in case on Friday the system gets corrupted, right? So what is the procedure being there? That means what they have to do, first they have to retrieve the data on the Monday, that is full backup, and for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever they have done the incremental backup, they have to restore the data from this point. Okay, so this is being done in terms of the incremental backup. Now what is the difference from the incremental to the cumulative backup? Now you can check here again, as usual. On Monday the full backup is done. On the Tuesday, file number 4 is being edited. On Wednesday, file number 4 and 5 is edited. On Thursday again 4, 5, 6 the changes is being done. So you can check here the cumulative changes is being done, but it is not being put on to the production, right? You can check that here, it is not been put on the database. But in case on the Friday the system is going to have a crash, or the system is going to meet with a crash, then what it is going to do is it is going to go only for the 2 backups. One is the full backup, and the second one is the cumulative backup. So by doing this one, so they are going to get the complete data of the files that are being corrupted, and this is how they are going to get the backup. Now you can check that here only the two the restoring or the backup methods is being applied. One is a full backup and the second one is a cumulative. But in the above figure, if you check, you have to see that the incremental backup is being applied for each and every day of this one, right? So this is how the cumulative backup is going to help in restoring the data. Now when I'm been having these backup methods, there are what are those methods we apply for this one, right? Now we can check there are 2 types. One is a hot backup and the second one is called as the cold backup. So when I say hot, that means obviously it is online. So each and every transaction that is taking place live, that is being backed. Now for example, you are filling up any applications, right? All of suddenly there is a power cut, but still yet you will be able to get the data back, right? So that means the data is being backed continuously as and when you are being using. Even if the power there is a power loss, still you are able to get the data back, right? And here in this one, so to get this data back, what is the methodology they are applying is they are using this open file agent, through which they are able to back that whatever file they have been whatever the information is being filled into the file, right? But the problem is that is it is going to affect the overall performance, right? But that is not the case in the cold backup. So the cold backup, what you are trying to do is you are going to backup only when the system is completely shut down. So when the system is shut down, then I can say it is a offline backup, and it is going to here in this one, the database is going to remain inactive during the backup process, and it is inaccessible, or I can say that it is not available for the users whenever they want to make any changes in this backup. Now if I have to take an example for this cold backup is, usually if you see the government organizations and all, they will keep a day for the backup process, where they say that the server is under the maintenance from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, right? After that only, if any changes to be done, only then the server will be available for you. That means that is a period where the any of the user can't access that one. So that is called as a cold backup, and you can't make any changes. Again you have to make any changes, again you have to make sure the server is again on. You go there, you make the changes, and then again it is being updated. So in this way, the updation to the database is going to take the it is going to consume the time, right? So for this purpose, they are using this point in time copy method, so that whenever there is a problem in backup and all, so they are going to apply this one. And the another method they are going to apply is bare metal recovery, which is going to refer as a backup in which all the metadata, system information, the application configuration, they are all being backup for the full system recovery during the disaster recovery environments. So this sort of the recovery is being done whenever the system is totally going to crash, right? I don't think so, as I know the system crash usually takes very less, because they are trying to restore all this data. So by the time it has been what you say, the crashed, they try to make sure they are using this server server configuration backup, through which the user feels that it is the same as it is been previous, right? If you people remember, they were saying that the information related to the biometrics is being compromised, right, from one country to the another country. So before it has been compromised, what they do is they make sure that it appears same for the users also, and the same layout is being done, the operating system is again being partitioned, so that it is not going to affect the user and it feels that yes, it is the same, right? Okay, so moving on to the next one is backup architecture. So what type of an architecture is being applied so that the backup is being done, right? So what are the I can say that the components that are being involved in the backup process. So you can see here we are having a backup server, we are having the backup client, we have the storage node and the backup device. So in this one, what the each and every component is trying to do. In a backup server, this server is going to maintain all the information, right? What all the backup operations have to be performed and what is the catalog being there. So that is all being maintained in this backup server, right? This backup server, again, even this backup client, now you can check, this backup client is going to send the data that is to be, you can check here, to the storage node, that what data has to be backed up, and the same information what this backup client is going to do, even this also information is kept track by the backup server, right? Now this storage node, you can check here, the storage node is going to send the data that is to be backed up to the backup device, right? And also it is going to send the information that is being tracked, right? And also the data that is being sent from the application client. So this storage node is performing so many operations, such as it is receiving the data from backup client, it is sending the data to the backup device, and also at that same time it is sending the information to the backup server stating that what all the information is being updated, right? So this storage node is also called as the media server, so which is doing a lot of work. Now when I'm been having this the devices, as I've been said, then what is the software being used in this one, so that it is it is doing all such operations? So they are using a backup software which is going to provide a complete report, right? So what does this report is going to involve? So it is going to involve what is the backup catalog, what are the log files, how much amount of the data is being backup, and how many what is the number of the completed and incomplete backups, and the type of the errors they are being occurring, so that this all report is being stored in this it is being generated by this backup software. So through this one they are going to make sure that where the backup is done, where the data is being corrupted, if in case the data is not being backed up, they are going to store it in the multiple locations. Where are the locations being there, what are the attributes being specified to that one, right? So this way the complete report is being generated and it is being maintained, right? So with this one the backup architecture is going to complete. So we'll be coming up with the next class related to the storage restore operations and also the topologies. Okay, thank you.